this journey together. Have you ever trusted someone with your life only to realize too late that they were hiding something so sinister, so dark that it could destroy you? That's exactly what happened to Laura Matthews in the fall of 2000. Laura was the kind of girl who believed in the best of people. We were students at the University of Kansas back then, and she had always been the quiet, intelligent one in the group. But when she mentioned the research trip to Costa Rica with her roommate, her face lit up with excitement. She said it was her dream to travel, to see the world. She trusted her roommate completely, someone she thought she knew well. But what Laura didn't know was that her roommate was hiding a dark, deadly secret, one that would change everything. Now imagine waking up in the dead of night to find a shadow standing over your bed. That's exactly what happened at Florida State University in January 1978. It was supposed to be an ordinary night at the Chi Omega sorority house. The girls had been laughing earlier in the evening, planning for the weekend, never suspecting that terror was about to creep into their lives. What they didn't know was that a man had just escaped from prison, a man who was more predator than human. He prowled the streets, waiting for the perfect moment, and that night, he found it. No, it lingered, seeped into the very walls of the Chi Omega house. To this day, people say the house feels off, like the terror of that night never truly left. The air is thick with the energy of something wrong. Would you be able to sleep in a place that had witnessed such unspeakable horror? Could you close your eyes, knowing that at any moment death might be lurking in the shadows once again? For the students who came after, the stories of that night became legend. Whispers in the dark, creaks in the floorboards. Every sound, every shadow seemed to carry the echoes of that brutal night. What if you found yourself in that sorority house today? Would you be able to sleep peacefully, or would your imagination start playing tricks on you? And he was never found. Can you imagine the injustice of it all? 6 innocent men rotting away in prison while the true murderer walked free. And Helen Woods? Her spirit was left wandering, her death unresolved, her killer never brought to justice. I'll never forget the first time I saw her. It was late, probably around midnight, and I had been studying at the library. The campus was eerily quiet as I made my way home. There was something unsettling about that night, something in the air that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. As I passed by the street where Helen used to live, I felt a sudden chill, an icy breath of air that didn't belong, and then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw her. She was standing by the window of her old apartment, her figure barely visible in the dim light. Her face was pale, almost translucent, and her eyes were dark, empty, hollow. She didn't move, didn't speak. She just stood there, watching me. I wanted to scream, to run, but I couldn't move. It was like the very air around me had frozen solid. And then, just as suddenly as she had appeared, she was gone. But the feeling, that cold, paralyzing fear, stayed with me long after. Would you have turned away? Or would you have gone closer? Curiosity pulling you toward something you couldn't explain, something that defied all logic.